And Carla is part of our little mastermind group too. And it's her husband's birthday, so she couldn't make it. But and we were kind of, I like the idea. One of them brought it up a couple weeks ago about like guest speaking on, other teams' calls, because you can really only hear your sponsor and coach talk about something so many times until you're kind of like, all right, okay. So I kind of like the idea of, when they brought up sharing our best practices with someone else's teams, because there's stuff that Stephanie does that I'm sure it has never crossed my mind. The same with Kristen, the same with Carla. And that's kind of like what we're used to when we listen to National Wake Up Calls and all these YouTube trainings. Like, we're like, oh my God, that's just so simple. Why didn't I ever think of how to word it that way? So we came together, obviously, and decided to poll our teams and really give them, the chance to speak out on what they want to hear about. I know my girls were really excited to hear about time management, power, how other leaders utilize the power hour. We kind of decided that I was going to talk about trying to create engaging posts on Facebook, because that was kind of my not my trick, but when it came to coaching, I was pretty aware that I didn't want to do the regular posts that I felt like I was seeing all the time on news feeds with all the Beachbody coaches, because I was never really a salesperson to begin with. And I got nervous that if I started all of a sudden just, holding a shaker cup and spouting, nutritional facts every day, that I was going to really lose to people that I've already had as friends and, my warm market. So I kind of came up with, it's been done before, but I didn't realize what I was doing. So I kind of have a strategy to how I use my Facebook every single day. And it has consistently brought me, as I grow my Facebook market and I make new friends on Facebook, complete strangers, it has consistently brought their attention over to my page, just because Facebook is kind of made that way. So I'm going to act like you guys know nothing about how EdgeRank works, and you may know nothing about how this works, but there's obviously this algorithm to Facebook. And what that means is you can have 4,000 Facebook friends, and if you post something, it doesn't mean all 4,000 of your friends are going to see it. It's only going to reach a certain amount of people, and you have to be kind of strategic about certain times of day that you're posting and what you're posting, and you have to have really engaging posts that are going to have more people commenting, liking, because as they do that, especially on a laptop, that little creepy ticker thing, it's showing all their friends, oh, Kim is over here liking Katie's thing. Let me go just hover over and see what it is. So for myself, I am that Facebook creeper. I've always been nosy. I've always been seeing what other people are looking at. And I wanted to start creating posts that were going to speak to people like me, that I could relate to. So I kind of looked at my own life and what I would post about as kind of my Pinterest board, my Pinterest page, because I was like, I can't just talk about Beachbody all the time, because I would have never talked about that to begin with. So I'm going to just roll that into there, but I need to be more intentional about posting every day. And what am I going to post about? Because, we have nothing going on in our life. I work and I come home and have a kid and a husband and a dog and drink wine. So like, what am I going to post about? I'm like, well, that's kind of relatable, because I know a lot of people actually live that exact life. So, that was kind of where the whole concept of I'm going to treat my actual day kind of like the Pinterest board, and the things that I like seeing on Facebook that other people post, funny internet memes, or, recipes, or God, what else? There's, again, the working mom stuff, the things where, the things that I wouldn't ever relate to, I'm not going to get very into talking about them. So my strategy is, obviously we all know to post 3 to 5 times a day. I kind of just do 3 times a day. And I'm always going to make sure I'm hitting off one of those Pinterest boards for me. So like for myself, I know that I have the working mom thing going. I know that I have a really funny kid. I know that I like funny internet stuff. I know that I like working out now, and I know that I used to not like working out. I love food. I'm known for loving cheese. I'm known for loving wine. I'm known for like really just goofy things, and that's my vibe. So all the posts that I'm crafting, that I'm putting together every single day, I'm going to be hitting one of those marks. And what I want to do is the way that I'm writing things out, if it's something that's not just sharing a meme to someone, but if it's something like, I'm writing something out that has to do with being a busy mom. I am writing this in a manner that I'm speaking to myself, because really I can't relate to someone who, isn't, I can't really relate to someone who might not have a kid yet. I can't really relate to a stay-at-home mom because their day is completely different than mine. So I know who I can speak to. And so I'm just writing my post to that person. And I like to give that person value and let them know that, like, their opinion matters. So I kind of word it in a way that when I'm speaking to them, it's going to literally pull something out of them. They're going to comment on it because it's like, why wouldn't they? They get something out of it. So that's where these posts that I always make public. When I share something that I know is funny, I always make it public. Because that's where that ticker thing is going to come to play. That's when people get nosy. That's when they hover. And that's when they're going to see my post from the night before, which is about a challenge group. They're naturally going to start scrolling your page. It doesn't matter if you're a total stranger. And that's where I get a lot of random people that start to follow me on my like page, on my actual Facebook page. So without dragging out and just word bombing on you, I want to kind of give you a couple of my actual tricks that I use, because it's stuff that I didn't really think to do until I saw, I think Miguel did a video a long time ago about this. But when we see like a really cool recipe or something funny or a BuzzFeed video or something like that, we're always like, share it. Like, I'm just going to take that link and share it. But what you're doing is you're promoting someone else, and that's silly. So if you haven't thought to do it, and a lot of people don't stop to take the extra second, if you see a picture that's funny, save it to your phone, obviously, post it. Post the stuff that's funny, post the stuff that brings emotion out of people, post that as public, posting from your page directly, because that's essentially how things go viral. Same thing with videos. Like, I'm not going to take a video from Stephanie's page of her working out and download that video to my page. But what I am going to do, very obviously, is if there's a branded video of like women's guide that they did working out, stuff like that, there is a website. This is commonly known in Facebook land too. It's called keepvid.com. You put the URL into it, and then you click the download button to the right, and you download it to your computer, and then you upload it. I get tons and tons of videos shared. I mean, from my own videos that I make too, but you're able to utilize the stuff that's already on 87 different YouTube links out there and just link it to your actual Facebook page instead. So then that stuff, when it starts getting passed around, your name is on there. You're the page that they're clicking. And then the more that people are clicking on your page, the higher that your edge rank goes. So the more engagement you're going to start getting, because your posts are going to start to get put in front of more people on Facebook. Essentially, I just really like the fact that if I am creating posts that are going to make other people feel, some kind of emotion out of it, if I am then posting something that has to do with a challenge group or coaching and I get one like, maybe a comment, it doesn't make me feel like I failed at that post, because I also know that there's going to be people that are going to be seeing that post regardless. They're scrolling it. There's someone who probably a week ago would have never even known that my page existed, but because they're being nosy on Facebook, they're going to see that, and then they start following you. And that's kind of how I've been using Facebook like a robot for a year and a half. And it's worked really well for me because I'm consistent with it. Every single day you're going to see 3 posts from me, like, unless I'm extremely sick. So that's all I got for you on Facebook. Who wants to go next? Or does anyone have questions? Feel free. Let me know if you do.
I can go next. So we can always have questions at the end too, just in case people like to deliberate. I know that I like to stew on things. So my question was from Stephanie's team, and it was about how do I get people to tell me more about coaching, to ask more about the coaching aspect. Well, I think it's really important to set yourself up with a foundation. If you're posting and you're inviting in your posts, people are going to come to you naturally, first of all. I think it's really important, like how Stephanie did a post tonight. I don't know if anybody on her team noticed. She, she tagged all of us, and she mentioned the coaching business and said how much fun it is. You know, the more you bring people into your world, the more they're going to ask questions. I like to make people ask me the questions instead of me going out and like, you know, stalking on people. But I think it's really important that you bring it to people. So make sure that your page is inviting, you know, make sure your posts are open to people wanting to come to you. I always make one post about our team at least a week where I'm tagging everybody from my team so people can see that we're a big family, we're a big group. And I know that it's really important that a lot of the people that come to our team say, well, I like the aspect that you guys project out, that it's a family. It's not just, you know, a business. It's not just I'm a number to you. So I think it's really important that you guys, you know, make sure that people realize that this is so much more than, you know, just Beachbody. This is, you know, people's livelihood. This is a weight loss thing. This is a journey. I mean, it's so big. So make sure that you're inviting on your page. But when it's all part of the vitals, really, because you're doing your post and you're being a product of the product. But when you're inviting out to people, I don't know if you guys do this or not, but I interview people before they even talk to me. So I go to people's pages, whether I'm friends with them or not, like they may be a friend of a friend, and that's how I decide that I'm going to friend them. I interview their page, and I do that for who I'm going to talk to too about the coaching business. I go through my friends list, and if I see something, let me screen share for you guys really fast. If I see something, like this is my friend Erin's page. If you see, as I go down, she posts about family. She's very open about how she posts. She talks about Shanti right there. So she posts about like stuff that we would post as coaches. She just doesn't know she's a coach yet. So this is what I do. This is what I look for. If I see somebody like that, and Erin's actually interested in coaching, so this is a perfect person for me to bring it up to you, because she's sharing and she's essentially already coaching. So it's easy for me to just message her and just be like, hey, you know, I don't know if you've seen what I do, but you are doing what I do, and you aren't getting paid to do what I do. So why aren't you joining me yet? You can simply say something like that. And yeah, people aren't going to fall into your lap. You have to do a little bit of work, guys, but it's totally worth it when you find the people that are going to work the business, because Erin's going to be that coach that she's not going to just sign up just for the discount. She's going to be in it for the long haul because she's already doing everything we do. I also have another girl who, you know, she's on the fence about what she does in terms of she wants to lose weight. She's gone back and forth in different things. Right now she's into Weight Watchers, which, you know, I'm not going to knock her on that. At least she's trying to get healthy. But, you know, she's one of those people that you look at her posts and you're like, God, she'd be a really good coach. I mean, she's literally talking about working out, her food, you know, everything has to do with basically what we talk about. So, you know, she may not be ready right now, but, you know, give her some time and she may be that person in the future. So to me, it's all about, you know, finding the right people, and then you can strike up the right conversation. And it's all about, again, the vitals and building your relationships, talking to people. If you're asking people, hey, what's new with you? How are you? They're naturally going to ask you, what's new with you? And so then that's a natural, you know, segue in saying, well, you know what? I've been doing this really awesome thing. I've been really focused on getting healthier for my kid, you know, for myself. I really want to just, you know, reach out to others and basically shout it from a mountaintop how awesome this is, because I absolutely love what this all represents. And it's, you know, being a coach is so cool because I get to help so many people on their journeys. And you have that platform to tell people exactly what you're doing when they ask you, what's new with you? How are you? So, you know, you just have to listen for those little cues that people open up for you. So I'll leave that for you guys to chomp on, and I'll let Stephanie go into her topic. And we can definitely do questions afterwards if anybody has any questions.
Okay, sorry, I lost my mute button before. I was trying to unmute it and just couldn't figure it out. Okay, so I'm Stephanie, by the way. I know, actually, it turns out that absolutely none of my team is here with us tonight, so I'm really bumming, but I'm glad to be here with you guys anyway. But I am with Kristen here. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've got one kid who's a year old now, and I've been building a business now for about almost 2 years. And one of the biggest things for me is I wanted to coach because I wanted to build a business from home. I wanted to be home with my baby. I knew the moment I was pregnant that I never wanted to go back to work again. And we were prepared to live on one income. So we have learned to cut everything back so I could do that. So I haven't necessarily, I'm not a working mom that was able to quit her job yet with Beachbody. We are just enjoying the fact that I'm actually providing an income when I was not really expecting to. And we were really prepared to live on a lot less. So that's just a little bit about me. But I've got my topic tonight to cover was time management and kind of a work-life balance. And that topic, we could go on for days. There are summits you can go to about time management and how to just be a time-efficient robot. And that's not really what I wanted to talk to you so much about. I wanted to really just have one big key thing for you. And it is the biggest thing that's helped me in my business, in my life, to have better management of my time and have control over my life, really, and just be able to find that balance, has been learning to say no. And it sounds super simple, but we are all so busy constantly, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you're a working mom or not a mom, you're whatever stage of life that you're in, we're all so busy. And it's so often we bring it onto ourselves. We join organizations, we join volunteer groups, we are overcommitting ourselves because we just want to give so much to other people. And so we kind of wear, busy as a badge that when someone says, "Oh, how are you?" The answer's not good or bad. It's, "Well, I'm busy," and it's not a good thing or a bad thing. Everybody likes to fill up all of their time. And what I'm going to tell you is that you need to do the exact opposite. Right now, if you're on this call with us, it means that you are trying to build this business, to build you some sort of freedom, to get you to a goal that you've already determined. You know the destination you're going to, and being able to say no to everything around you is what's going to get you there, because that's what's going to free up your time to be able to spend it on this business to do it. So at this point in my life, I can honestly tell you, pretty much all that I do is hang out with my husband and my daughter and be a Beachbody coach. I have completely cut off all volunteering, any extra groups. I'm sorry, I go to a mom's group once a month to keep my sanity, but that's all I get. And I've cut out everything because I've got such big goals for our family that, I learned from it's Dave Ramsey that says, you've got to live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. So all of my friends that are, working jobs and then coming home and just relaxing and enjoying and involved with all of those fun activities, they're going to still be living that same life in 10 years. But the life that I'm building right now for my family, and that you guys are doing the same for your family and for your future, the work that we put in now is going to pay us tenfold in the future. So if you can just learn to say no when someone asks you, to a date, even girls' night out, sometimes we feel like we need it and we deserve it. But so often if you can just say no, and it's hard in the beginning, but let me tell you, I can pretty much tell you I'm a professional knower now, I guess. But in the beginning, one of the things that I said all the time was when someone would ask me, I trained myself to say, "You know what, let me check my calendar," or "Let me check with Ryan." And we all know, we're all women on this call, that we run the house, we make the schedule pretty much. But I always use that. And nobody's going to fight you that you need to I need to talk to my spouse about that. Nobody's going to say, "No, you don't," So I've always used that as my excuse in the beginning to just say, not, to say, okay. So instead of having to say no to somebody's face, I could just say that, "Well, let me check my schedule. Let me check with Ryan and get back to you on that." And then I'd wait a few hours or a couple days and "Yeah, no, we're not going to have time for that." And it made it a lot easier for people to hear so they don't feel like you're rude. And it kept my schedule free and clear for my priorities. And that's one of the things we talk. If you're on this call, you've been in other training with coaches. We talk about figure out what your priorities are and honor them. Do things that honor those priorities. And for me, that's my husband, that's my kid, and that is my business and my coaches and my customers. So that's where I want to spend my time. So everything else right now in my life, I'm saying no to. And that may make me a workaholic some days, but I'm okay with that because I know I have the vision of where this is going to take my family and the freedom that we're going to have because of it. I have notes here. Let me touch back with these real quick. Big thing, saying no. There's going to be a lot of times that you're going to have to say no to good stuff. So you can say yes to better stuff, to greater stuff in the end. For me, I just made this huge post that was really scary last night on my Facebook page about alcohol, because I used to party really freaking hard in college. I'm going to be 30 this year. And I didn't think alcohol had a control over me anymore, but there are nights where I just get too social or just get in a mood where I really feel like I need alcohol, and I will drink too much. And I'm not throwing up. I'm just not in a place where, I could get in a car and drive, or the other day I couldn't change a dirty diaper, and I was like, this is not okay. And so for me, I just decided that, you know what, I'm not really hurting anybody. I'm not driving. I'm not doing anything bad when I'm drinking too much. But for me personally, I was like, this is not something that's moving me towards my goal. It's taking away time because I'm hungover the next day, and I lose family time, and I lose, working time. And so for me, it was something I literally made a decision yesterday that I'm just cutting out alcohol completely for a few months at least. I'm not sure how long yet, but I'm just walking away from it. Not because I'm not an alcoholic. I don't have a problem. I'm not like addicted to it. I just have a good time sometimes, and I'm just like, it's not something that aligns with my goals right now, and it keeps messing me up. So that's something that I'm saying no to now as an example. And that's it. Say no. Say no to everything so you can say yes to the best stuff later on. That's what I've got for you. And then we can open it up. If y'all have questions, you can, you have the ability to unmute yourself, right? Yeah. You can unmute yourself or raise your hand or whatever, and we can just do an open forum. I hope that's helpful.
Dude, I say no to so much stuff now, and it was the hardest thing in the world to start doing now. Like at work, I used to work like until 6:30 if I had the chance, because I was just like, oh, and like they just were expecting that, and now I'm just like, sorry, I leave at 5. So like, but this thing is like due in 2 days. I'm like, I know, but I gotta go, because it's like you're just behind on everything in this world. If you do like weekends, we used to just spend like whole Sundays at a friend's house just doing nothing, just like going there to hang out, and then it's just that catch-up game in the morning. Like, it's the worst. So like, does everybody here have an actual dedicated time that they put into coaching in a day? You may be new, you might not yet, but like, have you actually decided in your day what actual times you have? And it could be like 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there, but like, yes, no? I would say, go ahead. Sorry, Dana.
Oh, I shoot for about 3 hours a day.
Damn, girl, get it.
I try. I get up pretty early, like 4 a.m. because I have a regular 9 to 5 or so. But I do work remotely, so that helps too to make that easier to do.
Because it's kind of what Stephanie was saying, like where I can't remember the term either, but it's like work like no one will right now, so you can live like no one else can later. Like, you need to understand that my business did not move until I decided that I had to actually start making time for it. Like, nothing moved. Or I would have messages that I just would never respond to because I was sleeping till 6:45 in the morning to then go work out, to then do the mad rush in the morning. And when I realized that, like, it's going to really suck to start waking up at 4:30 in the morning every morning, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to work until 6 or 6:30 every single morning. I mean, weekends I can wake up later, but like that hour or two in the morning, like I can get like a month's worth of work done. And the trick is I don't know how many of us are parents on here. The trick is to be up and awake when nobody freaking needs you. Because the second your husband's feet hit the floor, the second you hear the kid roll over in the bed, like it's over. It's just over, and we all know it. So like, it kind of blows that you're up that early, but it's almost, I'm upset now when I oversleep. I'm pissed off when Chuck wakes up early. Like, that was my time. That was just like the time that I am just in complete control. And I may not even have a list ready in the morning of what I'm going to do, but I know I at least can like take 5 minutes and be undisturbed and sip coffee and plan it out. And it just brings so much more like peace to the rest of the day. And I don't feel like I'm chasing everything in the business. I feel like it's just there waiting for me in the morning. So
I think it's really important, like, to kind of tap into what Stephanie was saying when, learn to say no. People can see when you're online. I know, but there is an option where you can hide that you're online, by the way. But just because somebody messaged you doesn't mean you need to message them right back, right away. First of all, it sets a precedence to your challengers and your coaches if you message them immediately after that you're always available. And that's not the case always. Like, you need to make sure that people know that you have a life too. I know that I don't want to make people wait, but I also know that if something's going on and like they can't see what's going on behind the screen, they can't see if my son's screaming bloody murder, but that I was just online. And so it's important for people to know that, it's okay to wait. So by not answering them, you're saying no to them for a few minutes. But guess what? It's not going to end the world. Whatever they have to tell you can be taken care of, like 10 minutes, an hour, even typically a day later. I mean, I typically don't wait a day to get back to people, but you can definitely make people wait a little bit because your time is just as valuable as their time. And when you're messaging them back immediately because they just messaged you, you're now working on their time, not your own time. So, make sure, because I'm sure that they don't message you back immediately as soon as you message them. So make sure that you guys are saying yes to yourselves sometimes and no to everything else around you. But, and kind of what Katie said, and what Stephanie said, I am a stay-at-home mom, but I have a power hour to a certain extent. But I also, because I'm at home, I am able to kind of fluctuate my hours. I don't have it as a certain set time during the day. Like, it's not 9 o'clock every single day. It's, when I can, I always give myself an hour. It's typically nap time that I take care of stuff. But if there is no nap time, that's what Mickey is for. Like, I slap on a Mickey and he's happy, I'm happy, I'm getting work done, and we're all happy. So, if you can't, if you don't have that time, if you kids wake up, as soon as you wake up, they can sense it because kids have ESP, then make time, make it work for you. I have now set up my computer and we made it basically a computer playroom. So, my kid can play in here and I can do calls, I can do work at the same time, and I don't feel like I'm missing out. I can, walk away from the computer for a few minutes and go play with him. So it's kind of like making it work all, the way around so that my business isn't, stressing, but my kid gets my, my attention as well. So, do you guys have any questions? I feel like Katie, Stephanie, and I have done a lot of talking. It's quite quiet.
Because we could just keep talking.
We are talkers.
Okay, I have a question.
It.
How do you get your, like you were saying about getting coaches interested in like the coaching aspect, how do you get them interested in discount coaching? Like if regular coaching scares them?
Me? Sorry. Okay. So if somebody orders a challenge pack, literally the day that they order it, do you have a Gmail email address or do you ever use Google Calendar?
No.
Okay.
Good.
I would definitely, I don't even know I think you need an email address to set Google Calendar, but something, set a reminder in your phone, something. Anytime I get a challenge pack order, I set a reminder to go off anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks after that date, because at least they've tried it. They're going to know pretty soon if they like it or not. And something goes off, and because I have a Gmail account and it links right to my email, if I am at my desk at work even, I don't care. When that thing pops up, it says, check in with Stephanie Arnold. I shoot that person a message real quick. Hey girl, how's it going? Love seeing you in the group. What do you think about Shakeology? It's awesome, right? They always say yes. And I say, listen, if you want, I can save you just that $20 on the next bag. Do you want me to tell you about it? And everybody says yes. And then I have a script that I just use that I learned. It's not even a script. It's a conversation that I've had in the past. Just they ask how it works. I can post it I can give you guys the link for it. It just explains how normal customers pay this amount. You can sign up for a coaching, or you can sign up for a discount membership where it's going to give you my discount. There's no coaching required. And there's no contract because there isn't. They literally just send in the thing to quit when they want to. And I've had a ton of discount coaches sign from that. And you kind of know the person too. If they're super interactive in the group right from the get-go to begin with anyway, I'm like, hey, I love your interaction in the group. You like Shakeology, that's awesome, And when I start telling them about this discount, that they are going to also have that coach membership, you'll see in the script that I'm going to give you. I would say, in the event one of your friends wants to try it, you'll even have that set up. And I've had a lot of discount coaches that ended up rolling into hobby coaches, which then ended up rolling into business builders anyway, just from having that discount coach to begin with. Okay. But the thing is to stay on top of them. Just the second that they get that Shakeology in it and they, in them and they love it, you got to ride it when they're looking forward to that shake the next morning and let them know that you can save them money.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. It always works.
I was trying to find a graphic. I think I posted it on my team page. I can share it somewhere. I was trying to upload it in the chat here, but it doesn't allow you to upload. But I have a graphic that I made just with Pig Punky that I think it was an old Bombshell one that was just really, that probably Lindsay just stole from somewhere else because it wasn't one of her pretty ones. But it just shows you the price breakdown. Like, it's stupid not to be a discount coach if you're a challenger. You'll save like $100 over 6 months or something like that. I send that to them, and then I just like what Katie said, I have an email that I send that says, can I be a discount coach? And it's literally like an FAQ on like what that means, what the expectation is, what it costs, and all that too. So same concept. And that's how I turn most challengers into customers. And usually I send them that before they buy the challenge pack. So I'm convincing them to sign up as a discount coach initially. And so I don't even have to do the follow-up later on.
Bridget, did you want to ask that question that you were talking to me about earlier? Maybe you'll get a little bit more insight with the big group.
Question. I feel like I had a lot today. Check. Sorry. I have like a serious delay on my computer. And it's freezing.
Can you hear us at all?
I can hear you, but now it's freezing once I started talking.
Because we could still hear you.
Yeah, and you're coming across okay now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, my two were, no, I'm drawing a blank. Sorry, put me on the spot. Attracting, like-minded people. I feel like whenever I do have somebody join and coach, they like do nothing, and finding more people.
So so you're asking like when people sign up and then they do nothing with it, like what do you do then?
Right. Even the people that do end up signing up are like, I guess it's nothing like me. I'm not attracting people that are go-getters and want to do anything.
Yeah. I have two opinions on this because I feel I kind of have the Bonnie Engel side of it. And then I also have the very Melanie Mitro understanding of it. Bonnie Engel's side is very much so like, listen, you got to just bring people in because it's going to be a numbers game. And, all of us can all say, yeah, we were brought on and we didn't really have a strong, we didn't have a Melanie Mitro training us. We did it. And look, and we're here on a call tonight. We want this. They're going to be people who want it and who don't, people who show up to calls and don't. People, it takes some training to just accept that sometimes the people that are they're very excited and for whatever reason they just fizzle out. It really doesn't have very much to do with you as long as you're giving them the right tools at least to get going. You know, if you're telling them that there's a new Coach Basics, even if you're not the one running it, there's an upline who's running it. If you're telling them this is the Coach Basics and they kind of don't get into it, you know, you can try to force them, but I've never found that helps anything. And then you kind of feel like you're just like dragging dead weight around, which sounds mean, but you know what I mean. For you, it feels harder for you. And like Melanie's view is, I'm going to send them that welcome email. It's got the link into our team page. It's up to them to join it. I'm going to let them know, here's a new Coach Basics. It's up for you to get there. It's up for you to schedule a call with me. Like, put the ball in their court, because as long as you've done what you can to get them engaged, they don't show up, you know, it's not on you anymore. Or it never really was, but you know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. Well, it's like I told Bridget too, is that you're going to have people that are going to do that. But it's, you know, like, because I have Sam on this call, her direct upline doesn't, you know, work the business very much. And I'm hoping that she does. But all you can do is lead by example. You know, like if you are, you know, if you need a whole bunch of coaches, just keep getting more coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the ones that aren't working the business, because I think I said like 80% of the coaches you have will not work the business.
Mm-hmm.
So focus on getting more coaches, and you might get some of those 20%ers out of that. But just keep doing what you're doing, and those people are going to get inspired by your success, is what I say.
Yep.
So.
We're going to get cut off, so we need to end. But I want a photo real quick. So everybody keep your face on. Let's give us a good old college try here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
I love how Danielle's screenshot is her petting a cow. Does anyone else see that?
And Bridget, the best advice that I've gotten is that there are only 4 aces in every deck of cards.
Ooh.
So expect 4 coaches that are going to knock it out of the water for every 52 freaking people you bring into the business. If you've already got a rock star in your team, you're beating the odds already. So just keep going. Don't stop. And it's a straight numbers game. And